Hey everyone, it's Jason and welcome another Vampire The Masquerade Rivals expandable card game. This is for the Dragon and the Rouge expansion. So this will be a brand new 2-clan expansion, adding the Tzimisce and Ravnos. So we'll also get our Crypt deck and a couple of new tokens and stuff as well. So let's hop into the rulebook and take a look at what we got. Open. Alright, they're all stuck together. Alright, so we're looking at our 2 clans first. So first we have the Tzimisce. I may be saying that wrong. It might be like Czar. Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm going to keep pronouncing it that way because they didn't give me a description. The clan of the Dragon wants above all else to possess a thing fully, property, mortals, even their own bodies. Using their unique ability to accumulate attachments through dominate and other means, they seek to expand their collection beyond their enemy's power to contain them. Once they do, the old clan is well equipped to defend themselves. Havens fortified with defenses are difficult to assail without paying a heavy price. Meanwhile, wolves and worse roam the grounds, controlling through discipline of animalism. So they're going to be kind of like controlling the field. Then we have the Ravnos. If the dragons are the dragons who are jealously guard their hoard, the Ravnos are surely the tricksters that seek to make off with their precious gold. These daredevils have adapted to life on the run, where survival is a matter of outsmarting your foe more than overwhelming them. Through cunning and trickery, they use obfuscate to cast powerful illusions and are masters at setting devious traps. Putting their many mechanics into effort is an important key. Yes, this is going to be kind of neat, because we're going to get, one type of style that sounds like you're going to want to be, like, we need to, like, this is ours, and we're going to have ways to fortify it, defend it, keep you from touching it. The other ones are going to be like, we're going to be moving around and doing other things, hit and run tactics type of thing. So we have some new card types. We have ghouls. Ghouls are mortals that serve vampires, gaining extended lives and superhuman abilities by drinking vampire blood. Ghouls in expansion differ from typical ghouls encountered in the vampire world, as many of the Tzimisce transform the very flesh of the servants to better suit their needs. These ghouls come in 2 varieties, Salata and Vazid. Again, probably butchering the names of these. A ghoul enters play with a action ghoul card, so it's going to be just one of your regular cards in your deck. It attaches to one of your courier with at least 1 retainer already in your courier to play as its cost. So you have to basically spend a mortal that you have attached to turn it into this. And when you place a ghoul in your haven, paying its cost, which involves attacking 1 or more retainers, you control up to their maximum limit. If you cannot pay the cost, you cannot play the ghoul. Then put blood tokens of your color from general supply on the ghoul. 2 per attached retainer. This is their health. And then the Vazid can keep doing more stuff. So it's kind of neat. Yeah, so they can basically play them as an extra character that kind of gets to sit out. So here we go. 1 school of characters in your card. For the most purpose, the card references character includes ghouls as well. They can move in and out of your haven, join parties, block attack, hold attachments up to their listed limits. But all ghouls have 0 attributes as well as 0 blood points, so they rely on bonuses from other cards that do damage. They differ from characters in your fraction of the following way. Ghouls are not recruited, but instead played like actions and put into play like characters. A player calling you rival does not gain the 1 base agenda for defeating ghouls, because they're not your vampires. Ghouls do not count as character for game-ending conditions, such as having no active characters. Ghouls cannot have Prince of the City. When defeated, they do not go to Tempor, but are burned instead. They have 0 BP by default, and cannot be increased by other effects. Therefore, ghouls cannot play attack cards that require more than 0 BP. Cannot play action cards regardless of BP requirement. Retainers attached to ghouls are treated as if their game text is blank. So they can do some stuff, but they're very, very limited. They're probably more or less just to do basic damage and take damage instead. Alright, some new card concepts. Some of these have probably been in other expansions, but these are just new, at least from the base set. We have Guard. This key will no longer have reminder text, so just getting a reminder text of that, just so you know what they do. Just to clean up the cards if they figure it's been out long enough. Attachment, this keyword refers to the quantity of cards that may be attached to a card. Vampires by default are limited to 3. A card that gains +1, increases that limit by 1. Possessive. Vampires with the keyword possessive retain 1 non-title attachment when they enter Kapor. Vampires entering Kapor automatically keep their title, so allows you to keep a non-title attachment as well. So they can enter with 2, as long as one's a vampire. Attached cards in Kapor. Cards attached to your character in Kapor have no game text unless preceded by the word Kapor. So, you can have them, but you can't use them unless they specifically have a Kapor ability, just like your vampires have to have ability. Active havens. Your active haven is your coterie's primary haven. It is not attached to any other card and sits next to your agenda. You may only have 1 active haven at a time unless the card says otherwise. A haven from your collection means it must come from your own collection and cannot be another copy of a haven you currently control. You may choose a haven that another player controls, as havens are not unique, but be sure to bring some extra havens if you play cards that reference them. So I think this is leading to the Ravnos' ability is going to be able to have multiple havens out. And there's some rule clarifications. All rules have the caveat unless the card says otherwise. So there's several instances of otherwise surrounding the rules for ghouls. So it's kind of like, like all cards can hold 3 unless otherwise it says they can't. Tokens move from one card to another, retain their orientation. Prestige, blood remains blood, so on and so forth. Tokens will only be placed on cards that normally contain them. Ongoing cards that require tokens are burned when the last token is removed. So this means you can't put a fear token on an ongoing action card, because that wouldn't never make sense. Cards may only be attached to other cards that normally allow them to be attached. You can't attach a card to an agenda, nor place a 4th attachment on a limited card. And then a no action cost. Some cards allow you to play cards at no action cost. Whether you choose an action or unhosted action, you do not need to exhaust the character to play it. You must still pay all of their costs to satisfy the requirements. Alright, so that was that. We are going to also get 4 fear tokens, which just on the back they just say, does not ready at the start of your turn. So various characters will let you put fear tokens, which keep your opponents from doing just that. Alright, then we're going to hop right into the cards. We kind of went through there. So we have the Tzimisce. I really butcher these words every time. But we have Angela here, who has possessive. She gets 1 extra card when she goes into Kapor. The first time you attach a card to any card, including ghouls, each turn draw a card. Ooh, that can be very helpful. Card advantage. We have Simona, who also has possessive, and detach 1 face down card from this character. Mend 2 on this character or gain 1 prestige. Okay, cool. You have to get a face down card on her first of all, but the fact is it lets you remove cards for extra effects could be very helpful. Nicole, who has, all these guys have possessive. Attacker. If this attack defeats an enemy, steal 1 retainer from any character in a defending party. Ooh, there we go. So you can get more retainers to summon ghouls. Vladislav, possessive and exhaust. Move 1 non-title attachment you control from 1 card to another card. I love that it says card and not from 1 vampire to another vampire. So that's kind of fun because it gives you options. Valeria has... If this character is defeated, steal 1 prestige from attacking player for each card attached to this character. Ooh, that could be very helpful as well. The Ghoul Keeper. Wonder what he's gonna do. When this character exhausts, you may mend 1 on target ghoul you control, or put 1 mortal from the city burn pile into the streets. Okay, so this is neat effect, because that way you can keep reusing them burned mortals and get them back and have a chance to either retain them or turn them into ghouls. And our final one is Zoya, the big giant wolf there. When this character blocks an attack, it is not defeated. You may attach one attack city deck citizen or vagrant in the streets to any character you control. Interesting. So she can block and she's not defeated. You get to add an extra card. Cool. Alright. So we have our agenda, the completionist. At the start of your turn, for each card you have in control that is not in your haven and it has +3 attachments, gain 1 victory point. Okay, cool. So yeah, basically you want to have all your guys just trying to attach as many cards as you can. Neat. With that possessive, that'll be very helpful, because if they do happen to die and go to Kapor, or get wounded enough, you can at least retain some of them. Social housing, leader attachment. Your leaders have +1 attachment. Nice, so you can get an extra one there. When your leader defeats a city deck mortal, you may move a retainer from a character you control to another character you control. So this is kind of a neat idea, because then you can like stock up on one character, and then with him, with your leader or that other character, and maybe probably some other cards, you can move your attachments around so you can get that maximum of as many on each character as possible. Or if someone's about to like be defeated, you could move stuff off of them so you're not losing those cards. We have 3 copies of Back with a Vengeance. Physical attack, and then now we have an attack and mental reactions. This is neat, because we haven't seen too many where you have multiple card types on the same one that weren't just a reaction. Attacker gets +1 damage for each attachment this character has. Reaction, deal physical damage to the attacker, not mental. And then if he has the Protean discipline, his reaction becomes aggravated. Oh, that is fun. So he can block mental attack as well, but he does physical damage back, and he could potentially be aggravated, which could burn them. That's neat. We have 1 copy of Bag Out of Hell, which is an action animalist. We're getting more animals in this set. So if you have the animalism, you can pay 1 to attach it. Exhaust this character. Draw 2 cards and then discard 1 of them. Detach. Target player discards 3 cards and then they may draw 2. Interesting. So you can use this on yourself as well. To target yourself to discard 3 cards and draw 2 more. Definitely animals are fun, give you some extra options of stuff to do, plus they have that detach option, and they also work towards your attachments. 2 copies of Change of Plans. The Trap. This is a new card type. It didn't really go over in the book too much, but it's going to work. Very simple. Play this card face down and place 1 prestige on it. Resolve during your turn if an ongoing event is played. For each prestige on this, you may discard 1 unattached city deck card from the streets, then place 1 card. For each prestige on this, you may discard 1 unattached city deck card from the streets, and then put the top card of the city deck into the street. Okay, so you're just recycling the city deck cards. Did I miss traps? No. Are they in one of the other sets? Let me just check quick. Alright, so I want to just go over the trap rules quick, because they do work a little bit differently. So, to play a trap, place it face down in your haven and place 1 prestige from your personal supply. They're indistinguishable from conspiracies at this point, and you never need to declare if you're placing a conspiracy or a trap face down. However, traps are not revealed to your foe to get them to contribute. You're on your own, just like conspiracies. The control of the trap may add 1 prestige from their personal supply during each of their subsequent turns. A haven like Madhouse works just as well with traps and conspiracies. So there's the thing, is you're going to place them down, but you're not going to let people know what you're doing, so they might go to destroy it, think it's a conspiracy, and boom, it's a trap. Trapped effects often can be used during foes' turn to wreak a little havoc. The text on a trap shall be revealed and resolved at any time during a player's turn. However, each requires a triggering event described on the card. Some also require discipline in order to reveal it. If you don't have that discipline in your coterie, you can't reveal it. Traps don't have prestige requirements to resolve. You may even resolve a trap with no prestige on it, though you must place prestige to play them. In case something removes it, it's still potentially effective. However, most traps can do more on there. The wording resolve at any time doesn't mean you may resolve it for no reason whenever you wish. It means you may resolve it when the triggering event occurs, sometimes even after the fact during the player's turn. When a triggering event occurs, you are not required to resolve a trap. You may resolve as many traps as you wish. As usual, return all prestige on the trap to the general supply after resolving. Okay, so that was from the Heart of the Europe set. They introduced it in set earlier than this. We just wanted to reiterate on it in here. Yeah, so this is what's going to make that interesting. You're going to place it face down, and your opponent's not going to know if it's a conspiracy or not. It could be very interesting. And then, yeah, resolve during your turn if an ongoing event is in play. So it can be any time on your turn as long as there's an ongoing event. That can be a city card, your card, an opponent's card. It doesn't matter. Very interesting. So we'll have some more of those, I'm sure. Then we have 5th Tradition Hospitality. We only got one copy of this. Each player moves their leader to the streets. If you control Prince of the City, each foe gives you 1 prestige. If Prince of the City is in the city deck, locate it and put it into the streets, then shuffle the deck. Ooh, so that's kind of neat. Pulls it out and brings it to you. Otherwise, if you have it, everyone has to give you a bonus. So like, lowest effect, you move your leader to the streets for free, which you can do anyhow. But each player has to move. So you can force every leader to the streets. And then you get to pull at the city, the Prince of the City. Cool. 2 copies of The More the Scarier. Clan-specific card. Ongoing. Characters in your coterie have +1 attachment. Nice. 3 copies of Flesh Crafting. The Protean ability. Discipline. If you attach 1 unattached citizen or beggar in the streets or city deck burned pile to a character you control, this is not defeating them. So you don't get the rewards for them, but it lets you just freely attach them. Nice. So we have 3 copies of Grey Wolf. Animalism, pay 1 to attack. When this character is attacked, the attacker loses 1 health. Burn this card. Attach 1 unattached citizen or beggar in the streets to any character. So as they can kind of like sacrifice themselves to go fetch someone. We have 3 copies of Home Improvement. Action ongoing. Attaches to your haven. Ongoing, your leader has the abilities based on the number of attached home improvements. 1. At the start of your turn, mend 1 health on your leader. 2. At the start of your turn, draw 1 card. And 3. Also gain +2 defense. That's actually really cool. I think this is one of the first cards I've seen I can remember that you gain more based on having the same card multiple times. So that's very interesting. We have 3 copies of Perimeter Defense. Another trap, place it face down, resolve at any time when a character in your haven is attacked. They also have 1 defense for each token on this. The attacker also loses 1 health for each card attached to your haven. So if you got Home Improvement and you have 3 of them, someone attacks you, you can flip this over and you get 3 defense. Potentially you could get extra defense depending on how many tokens you have on this. But they can also lose up to 3 health. Which could be really bad for a lot of them. It's like an instant defense. That's a really neat card. What's neat is because this could be played by any clan. So it's not clan specific. We have 3 copies of Poacher's Choice, a social attack. If this attack defeats a character in the street, steal 1 retainer attached to that character. If you have the dominant trait there, defender attaches attached cards are blank during this attack. Ooh, so that's kind of fun. So you just steal one of them, but you can also reduce it so theirs doesn't do anything. We have 3 copies of Secret Compartment. Secret Compartment, makes more sense. Ongoing, when you discard a card from your hand, you may attach it to this card face down. When you draw 1 card, you may put 1 card attached to this hand instead. Oh. So if you have to do something where you discard, which there's a couple of cards in here that force you to discard, you can put them on here instead and save them for later. That's actually really neat. Did we not have... thought we had one of our... Yeah. So, like, Battle to Hell would be very interesting. So, if you have him, you could exhaust him, draw 2 cards, and discard 1. And you can put your discarded card on here. Then the next time you draw, you can instead put that card into your hand instead. Then if you use this detach, you have to discard 3 cards, max of 3. You can discard all 3, and then you may draw 2. So if you had to discard him for some reason, and you had this out, you could use it to get back at least some of your cards. That's kind of an interesting, very interesting card. I just about lost where I was at here. I just about stacked my cards on the wrong pile. Alright, we have 2 copies of Siege Engine. Physical attack, +1 for each ghoul you control. For each ghoul, 3 attachments, gains +2 damage instead. Burn 1 retainer to attach to the attacker. Burn target ongoing card the defending player controls. Interesting. Oh, burn 1 retainer attached to the attacker to burn target ongoing card from the defending player controls. Oh, okay. So yeah, if you get rid of one of their retainers, you can also get rid of one of their ongoing cards. Very, very crazy. And it's a 0 cost, so your ghouls can use this. Alright, that's neat. 2 cards for Slumlord. Gain 1 prestige for each citizen attached to a card you control. Oh, that could be helpful. I like it because there's other decks that or other clans that really want to have citizens and retainers. So this kind of can work with them. You can kind of mix them or either mix them together or do this. And then there's some other ones that rely on animals. So you have a couple of animals in here. So those are kind of work together. So it's kind of nice. The more and more clans we get, you'll see how they'll kind of work with each other a little bit more. So here we have some more ghouls. We have Salacha. Protean, attach 1 retainer you control, max 1, and put 2 health on a ghoul. It has guard. When defeated or burned, you may move the retainer attached to the Vazig you control. You basically sacrifice a mortal citizen or vagrant you have as a retainer to make this as a brand new card that has 2 health and guard, so it can help block attacks. And when you defeat him, you can put him on this guy. We're going to show him off right. We have 3 copies of him, the Vazag. They're just a giant conglomerate of things. This guy has 0 health to begin with. With Protean, attach 1 plus retainers you control, no maximum. When a retainer is attached to this ghoul, it gains 2 health and 2 attack. Place it from the general supply. So every time you attach a retainer, so if you make this guy, you can actually build him up as much as you can afford. And if your other ghouls die, they can join him, make him even stronger. So this guy also starts with attacks. It's pretty fun. Then we have 3 copies of Vivisectude. Vivisectude? At the start of your turn, you may attach 1 card in your hand face down to a character in your coterie. Exhaust. Target attacker deals +1 damage if they have 1 face down attachment. +3 if they have 2 and +3 cards that have 2 damage instead. So that's kind of cool. Also, it kind of works with the traps, kind of keeping some a conspiracy idea where you don't know what your opponent doesn't know what card's under there. So that could also kind of mess them. You don't know what you might have hiding there. You could be hiding a card you don't really need anything to help you. You have something powerful that you're going to pull out later. Alright, so we do have our 2 divider cards there as well. Then let's jump into our next clan. This will be the Ravnos. So we have Stefan So Kradak. Look at that. His highest one, he starts at 4. Most start at 6. These guys start a little bit cheaper. I'm guessing because you want them to move around, so they don't want really high-cost guys who get more people out. That's going to be my guess. When this character exhausts, you may move 1 blood or prestige from a card you control to another card you control. Interesting. So you can either heal someone, or weaken somebody else, or you can move your prestige on. It could be good for like traps and conspiracies. This could be very interesting. Mahendra Chandra, who has guard. When this character is a blocker, any blood they lose due to attack damage may be put on an ongoing face-down card you control. Flip it to either side. Oh, okay, cool. So if he loses his blood, you can either put blood on there for like a ritual per se, or a face down like trap or conspiracy. So that is neat. That's neat. Shweta, solo attacker. If this attack deals +1 damage to a target in their haven, steal 1 prestige from that foe, and you may place it on a non-haven card you control. Interesting. So this can only be placed as prestige, though. Kwaku. Well, they're +2 unattached citizens or vagrants in the streets. The characters in this party have 1 secrecy in the streets. Ooh, that's neat. So he kind of goes against trying to use them as bait or ghouls. He's using them as shields, essentially. Haya. Party attackers in this party deal +1 damage to mortals for each of Ravnos' character in this party. Nice. And Chance. Put a no influence token on a ready character in your coterie who has +1 influence and exhaust them. Okay, so basically you're making them spend all their influence for a turn. Put 1 prestige from the general supply on a face-down card you control. Interesting. So basically, if somebody has extra influence, you can basically use him to sacrifice their influence for the turn, to get extra prestige on something else. Neat. That's kind of cool. And finally, we have Mercia, who says the first time you recruit a character during each of your turns with blood pledge lower than your leader, gain 1 unhosted action. Oh, because your main guy only starts with, in here, he only started with 4, so it's going to be a little bit harder versus if they started with 6. That's kind of a neat idea, too. Here we have Raising the Stakes. Aha, stakes, vampires. And it's poker. The first time you place +1 prestige on a card you control that already has 2 tokens on it, during each of your turns, gain 1 agenda. When you resolve the face-down card with 4 tokens, gain 2. Oh. So this will be a conspiracy and trap heavy agenda. Yeah, as long as you keep placing them on there, you can keep gaining a bunch. And again, you can trick people with that by, oh, this only needs 2, or it's a trap, so you really only need maybe 1 to do it or 2 to do it effectively. But you could put 3 or 4 on there, and they might think it's something really powerful. So they then might waste cards on it when they don't really need to. Interesting. The converted bus. For some reason they changed the text to orange. I don't know why. Maybe just to keep it separate. But we have leader ability. Because they didn't do that for the other one, did they? Or did I just really miss that? Oh, here. Characters in your haven have 1 secret. Characters in the street have 1 secrecy. That's why it's different. Ooh, so this actually changes up that ability. There's only 1 other card I think that's done that. Not too many cards do that. When your leader moves to the streets, you may move one of their blood points to another card you control, flip to either side. Neat. So that's going to come into play a lot. We have 2 copies of Cryptolect. Ongoing, you may pay 1 less prestige to recart vampires with +2 blood power. Added from the 2+ blood potency from the last. Add the last blood from the general supply. When you recruit a Ravnos vampire, draw a card. Interesting. So not only do you pay 1 less to recruit them, a 2+, so you get to put 1 from yours, and then potentially 1 from the general supply. Interesting. Alright, we have 3 copies of Domino Effect. Ongoing has Relentless to exhaust it, so at any time, next time you resolve a face-down card with +1 tokens on it this turn, place 1 of those tokens on another card you control. Ooh, so triggering trap after trap or conspiracy into a trap. That could be very cool. 3 copies of Emperor's New Clothes, which is a trap card. Resolve at any time. Target player who attached a card this turn burns 1 non-title card without effect attached to the card they control for every 2 tokens on this card. Okay, so you gotta at least a 2nd token on there, but then you could at least force them to get rid of 1, if not more cards. 3 copies of Escape Artist, a clan-specific card. Reaction for ranged and physical attacks. +2 defense if you control 2 unattached, face down, and or ongoing cards. Nice. That could work out really well. 2 copies of Fanta Morgana. Places face down to add 1 prestige on. Resolve at any time during an attack. For each prestige on this card, you may redirect 1 damage from this attack to a target character in the streets. Oh, so if someone attacks you, you can flip this over and take out somebody else. That is definitely cool. And we have 2 copies of Fear Tactics. So if you have the Obfuscate, Discipline, steal 1 prestige from each foe who has a fear token on a character in their coterie. The stolen on cards you control or add them to your personal supply. Ooh, that's fun, right? Boost up your stuff. And you gotta get fear tokens out. 2 copies of Freelancer. Add 3 prestige from the general supply to this card. Ongoing, remove 1 from this card. The next time your character in your coterie plays an action this turn, ready them. That's neat as well, because then you could also, once these cards are letting you replace tokens down, you could put more on this. You could keep using this a lot more often. We have 2 copies of Masks of 1,000 Faces. Add 3 from the general supply to this card. Ongoing relentless, move 1 from this. Swap 1 non-leader character in your coterie with 1 in your hand. Getting state, tokens, and attachments. Pay any higher blood point difference in prestige. Oh, crazy, right? So if you have a, if you have like a 1 cost guy out, you could swap them out for a 3 cost. Also, and by paying 2, extra, but then you could be like, boom, look, I surprised you with him. And now he has all these extra attachments. Because they might, like, why are we attaching to that guy? Meh, not really worried. Now it's when you pop it on a guy that gets bonus for having them type of cards, like having a title or having an animal. That's really cool. And nice that it's not clan specific. 3 copies of Sleight of Hand. Mental Attack. If the defending player played a reaction, that player discards 1 card. If this player has those 2 symbols, also steal 1 prestige from the defending player. Neat. Because again, it's a cool idea, the first one and the second one, but it's also very situational. They might not play a reaction. You might not have either of them. So it might just be a mental attack. But if you don't have either of them symbols or enough of them, you're probably not going to play this card. 3 copies of Smoke and Mirrors. Physical and mental reaction. Put a fear token on target character in the attacking party. Ooh, way to put fear tokens on quick. Obfuscate, if the attacker's attack or damage becomes superficial. Oh, neat. So you're blocking them with 1 defense, but you're also putting a fear token on so they can't attack again, and they can't take you out. Nice. 2 copies of Switcheroo. Physical, social, and mental attack. When revealed, you may discard this card. If you do, when revealed, you may discard this card. If you do, declare a different attack type. Then you may play another attack face up. Oh, because you could be like, I'm doing a physical attack, and then you place this down, face down. They're like, oh, he's going to boost up his physical. All right, I'll block with this guy because he has high physical resistance. And then you could be like, nope, joking, I'm doing mental instead. And now you can play a mental attack on them. That's actually really cool. I like that. 3 copies of the Hat Trick. If you defeat a mortal in the streets, you may place 1 prestige of your color from the general supply on a card you control. This party has the animalism where it's obfuscate. Gain 1 unhosted action when played during your turn. Cool. You can get some extra bonuses there. We have 3 copies of the Long Con. There's another trap. Resolve any time a foe puts a token on a card during an action phase. For each prestige on this card, steal 1 prestige or 1 blood from a card you have not stolen from this turn. Place each token on a card you control. Ooh, this could like hurt if someone else is playing traps or some different ongoing cards, conspiracies, also rituals. All the rituals wouldn't take prestige, they take blood. Yeah, still. Alright, we have 3 copies of Throwing Knife, Ranged Attack. You may distribute the damage to any characters in a defending party. Max 2 to any character who is not the target. Neat. So you split it off as 3 to 1 target. Or 1 to 1 target, 2 to the other, or 1, 1, and 1. I wonder if it adds extra damage you're doing as well, so you could actually do a little bit more. Alright, we have a couple more cards in this deck. We have 2 copies of the Urban Fox. Another animal, pay to attack. Ignore antagonists during your end phase. Burn this card to discard target ongoing card a foe controls with 0 to 2 tokens on it. Ooh, so you can get rid of their things a little bit early on, which is kick that candle off of there. And then we have 2 copies of the Wolf Spider. Just attack. Nice. You don't even need to have paid blood to do it. Attackers must play their attack cards face up when attacking this character. Detach, put a fear token on target character in their haven. Nice. So it kind of keeps them from moving around and doing other stuff. Yeah, that's some really interesting stuff. Being able to move tokens around. That's a really cool idea. And you can kind of see how it could mix with some of the other cards in the other clan as well. Alright, so let's look at our crypt cards. We got the 2 dividers there, which will add some new agendas we can play as. So we have Change of Scenery. When you put a new active haven into play, gain 1 agenda. Alright, so I haven't really seen too much of letting us play additional havens, so there must be some cards in here that let us do that. We have Army of the Dragon. Each time you play a ghoul, gain +1 agenda. If you attach 2 retainers to that ghoul when this is played, get 2 instead. Awesome. So if you just have extra retainers on them, they get additional stuff. A little bit challenging because you have to specifically be playing a ghoul deck. Campsite. Character in your haven have 1 secrecy. Your leader has 1 additional secrecy. Exhaust a character in your coterie and play 1 action. You may replace this haven with 1 from your collection. Okay, so that's how you just swap them around. At least once, because you're replacing it. But yeah, there might be something else you really want to get a little bit better. Then we have Country Estate. Start of the game. Attach a ghoul from your library to this. Characters in your haven have 1 secrecy. Ghouls you control in the street have 1 defense. When your leader defeats a citizen or a vagrant, you may play the ghoul attached to this at no action cost, or if you control a ghoul, you play a card at no action cost. Oh, cool. So basically, you'd start up, you have a ghoul ready to go right off the bat. Alright, our new Ravnos Armaya. Exhaust. Attach 1 haven from your collection to this character. If they have none attached, attach 1 haven from your collection to this character if they have none attached. Or swap 1 haven attached to this character with another haven you control. Okay, so she's going to be the one based on trying to swap around your havens. And then we have Jack. Exhaust, reveal the top 2 cards of your library, then discard 1 and draw the other. Use this ability only in the streets. Okay, nothing wrong with that. Extra card drawing. For Tzimisce, Matthias, who has possessive, has 1 extra attachment. And the first time you burn a card attached to this character during each of your turns, draw a card. And then Radu, who also has possessive and exhaust, reveal the top card of your library, then draw it or attach it face down to a character you control who has no face down cards attached to them. Oh, neat. So you just did some extra retainers on there very quickly. Alright, so then we're going to first look at the cards that are just finishing off the collection of 3 that we would have had from the main set. So we have 2 extra copies of Battle to Hell, 1 Change of Plans, 1 Cryptolect, 1 copy of The More the Scarier, 1 Fata Morgana, 1 Fear Tactics, 2 copies of 5th Tradition Hospitality, 1 Freelancer, whoops, ran out of space on there, 1 Mask of 1,000 Faces, 1 Siege Engine, 1 Slumlord, 1 Switcheroo, 1 Urban Fox, and 1 Wolf Spider. So those are all the ones that will finish off, so you have 3 of each card. Then we did get a couple of brand new cards. You have 3 copies of Backpackers. Attach to your active haven to a character in your coterie who doesn't have 1 attached. Then put another haven from your collection into play as your active haven. It's kind of neat. Having a bunch of different havens out will let you, I'm assuming, let you access all their different abilities. And then we have 3 copies of Doomed to Roam. Attach a haven from your collection to a non-leader character in your coterie. Ongoing, discard a card, swap your active haven with another haven you control. Then you can return any of your characters in the street to your haven. Very interesting. I'm just trying to see if it says anything different. Your active haven is your coterie's primary haven that is not attached to any other card. You may only have 1 active haven. A haven from your collection means your card must come from your own. You may choose 1 haven, another player. Okay, Haven attached to your leader has... Havens attached to your leader gain the leader ability game text. However, any other game effects besides the leader abilities are ignored. Okay, so you're not gaining the extra secrecy. So essentially, attaching a bunch of havens to your leader will give you a bunch of extra leader abilities. Otherwise, you're kind of just hanging out on your characters. But they do count for other abilities being attached. So yeah, very cool. I like that that was a secondary mechanic, like in the extra cards, as opposed to being their primary default abilities. So there we have Vampire Rivals, the Dragon The Rouge expansion. Yeah, some really neat stuff. Getting to play around with them traps are really fun. Getting to move counters around, like, you know, basically playing more on that secrecy aspect versus direct attacking. To new animals. There's definitely some ways that can be combined with other sets or previous sets to make some very interesting decks. Whether you're bringing cards from them to boost up these decks, or combining them with other clans to make some neat combinations. This one I think is really good for, gonna be really good for adding to a couple other different styles of gameplay. Alright, hope you guys enjoyed. See you in the next expansion video. Bye.